Hey, did you know that Mrs. Help will be teaching us about male and female birth control next lecture?
This should be an interesting lecture.
Male birth control? I'm not giving birth anytime soon.
Well, you're in luck because Group 16 from Dr. Donahue's Chem 151 class will give you a lesson on male hormonal birth control. The invention of birth control was revolutionary. It is a simple yet effective way to prevent pregnancy. Pregnancy prevention gives autonomy, offers sexual freedom, reduces fear, and lets couples choose when and if they want to start a family. If having a safe and effective way to prevent pregnancy can have all these benefits, then why is there no hormonal birth control for men? Men deserve a way to be in control of their own fertility too. Women can only get pregnant once a year, but men can cause pregnancies once a day. Why is the responsibility of birth control put on the women? Let's go back in history and see how birth control was created to address these questions.
Hello everybody, I am Alan and I'll be giving a brief introduction into the history of medicinal male birth control. The first oral contraceptive, Enovid, was approved by the FDA in 1957. That same year, Gregory Pincus, who co-invented the oral contraceptive pill that we know today, tried it on men, but he found no success. In the 1970s, a non-hormonal form of male birth control called Gossipol was being developed. However, it was found that decreased sperm levels never renormalized even after male participants were taken off the drug. There were many attempts to market a drug as an alternative to a vasectomy, but the strong influence of the Roman Catholic Church made it difficult for researchers to get approval. In the words of the scientists that work on Gossipol, we realized that men are very afraid of losing their virility. 2004 to 2008 was the peak of interest in male birth control. Several studies had been released that showed that men would be interested in having control over their own fertility. A drug company called Organon gave 300 men progestogen implants and testosterone injections which successfully, and importantly reversibly, lowered their sperm counts. After their studies, Bayer, a competing pharmaceutical company, bought out Organon and stopped work on the contraceptive. Board members had no interest in the drug since, quote, it was not considered male behavior to take responsibility for contraception.
So currently, male contraceptives only include condoms and a vasectomy, which is a very invasive surgical procedure. But there are options in the works. For example, the Nest-T gel. The Nest-T gel is the first male birth control product that has been progressed past the initial steps in the clinical trial process defined by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA. Nest-T gel is currently in the phase 2B to be evaluated for safety and contraceptive efficiency in order to be moved on to phase 3 of the study, which is a big step for male birth control because no male birth control product has made it to phase 3 before in the US. So the Nest-T gel is a gel that will be applied onto the skin and will be absorbed into the body. The gel consists of a mixture of progesterone and testosterone. Progesterone acts to switch off sperm production by blocking natural testosterone production, while the testosterone compensates for the drop and allows for a normal sex drive.
Next, I'll be discussing about the second product, which is the dimethylendrolone undecanoate, DMAU, which is an oral pill that is still being studied in clinical trials. Researchers have completed phase 1 for this product, but it has not yet passed phase 2. So how does this product work? DMAU is a product that binds with androgen and progesterone receptors, which both suppress the spermatogenesis pathway. This indicates that DMAU has the possibility to be the single-agent hormonal contraceptive. Based on the current progress of DMAU, it needs to be taken once daily over a 1-month period. The significant side effects of taking DMAU are weight gain and decrease in HDL cholesterol, which is called the good cholesterol. Now, I'll be discussing about the challenges faced while developing this male hormonal birth control. So, number 1, there is actually one common misconception about male hormonal birth control, which is that men are not actually willing to take it, which is not true. Based on international surveys being conducted, men are actually willing to take birth control, but the main issue stems from how easily birth control can be received. In a 2-year study conducted on 1,000 Chinese men, testosterone injections were shown to be just as effective as female birth control, but the keyword is that they were all injections. This, in combination with the mood swings and other physiological strains, results in general unwillingness to take it. That is why recent trials with testosterone, gels, and implants are so promising. The major problem faced by the pharmaceutical companies today is money. Without substantial interest and therefore funding, it is difficult to bring a drug from discovery to clinical trials. However, the companies believe that by reducing the side effects of the contraceptives, it will help to increase their interest in investing and also make it less scary for possible male consumers. Similarly to female birth control, the possible side effects are acne, weight gain, and also which is possibly to be extreme in mood swings and also changes in sex drive.
So how does male birth control work? Progesterone is a naturally occurring hormone in both men and women. In women, it stops ovulation and thickens the uterus lining so that sperm can't get in as easily. In men, it prevents sperm production altogether. Therefore, if progesterone was always present in your body, you couldn't get pregnant or get somebody else pregnant. The obvious solution would be to give people progesterone supplements. However, the naturally occurring structure of progesterone is metabolized by your body too quickly to be effective. Therefore, scientists had to create synthetic progesterone, or what we call progestins. Progestins act as an agonist, meaning they mimic the response of progesterone by binding to their receptors already found in your body. Here are the structures of progesterone and the two progestins we've discussed so far. As you can see, their structures are very similar, allowing the progesterone receptors to recognize them. So what happens when they bind to these receptors? Progestins stop glands in the hypothalamus from producing the luteinizing hormone and the follicle-stimulating hormone. Without these two hormones, the testes cannot produce sperm. Reducing these hormones also prevents the pathway responsible for testosterone production. And that is why male birth control includes a testosterone replacement, most realistically in a gel format. However, injections and implants are also available. After 4 months off the drug, these effects reverse completely.
These 3 students were amazed by the information they just learned about male hormonal birth control. They were not questioning at all how Group 16 randomly heard and answered their curiosity throughout a whole presentation. They considered skipping out on Mrs. Health's lecture because Group 16 did such a great job, but they didn't, because you shouldn't skip class. Stay in school, kids.